Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Sorry. Very good afternoon, sir.
Hope I'm visible.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So you please let me know when to start.
I'm just starting, sir. You can just share your PPT accordingly. I'll just introduce and we'll just start again then.
Okay. I'll just open the PPT. Okay. So whenever you say I'll share, should I share my PPT right now?
Just share, sir. So I'm just starting. Just a few seconds.
Okay.
Okay. So friends, again, heartily welcome to 1 week international training program on organic farming field to fashion. Everybody has enjoyed inaugural session as well as the lecture delivered by Dr. V.M. Bhale sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. PDKV Apola, and the presentation by Dr. A.N. Paslawar, who is Chief Scientist at Port, Dr. PDKV Apola. Now we have invited Dr. A.K. Yadav sir. He is the Senior Advisor of APEDA New Delhi, and he will be delivering his experiences on strategies for exportable organic produce and global opportunities. So, sir, most of the participants, around 3,000 entries we have received across the globe, and around 75 participants are from various countries, and other people are from other states of the India. Around 22 states we have covered during this training program. And most of the faculty members, scientists, and students are there. Some farmers also join this program, those who are actually wish to attend. So now the coordinator for this particular session is Dr. P.P. Bhopre, who is Associate Professor at Department of Extension Education. Similarly, Dr. A.B. Age and Dr. Gopal Thakre are the rapporteurs. Now I hand over the dais to Dr. A.B. Age for further.
Thank you, Kunle sir. Warm welcome to all the participants and delegates. I am very much fortunate to introduce today's speaker, Dr. A.K. Yadav sir. Dr. A.K. Yadav, MSc PhD from Rajasthan University, India, is an accomplished expert on biological and organic inputs and organic farming, starting with his first professional assignment in Department of Agriculture, Government of Rajasthan, and then with the Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. He had been working to promote organic farming and organic and biological inputs. As a director, National Center of Organic Farming, he spearheaded the organic farming movement in the country and abroad, and has specially contributed to the designing, launching, and implementing the various schemes for transitioning farmers to organic and facilitating certification assets. Major contributions are planning and designing of schemes, networking of farmers for cluster development, continuous improvement in certification, and in development of regulatory framework for organic inputs. Author of PGS India system and instrumental in bringing organic food under regulatory network. Supported many states to define their policies. After completing his 32 years tenure with government, Dr. Yadav was also associated with ICOM Asia as a co-opted board member and also as a brand ambassador of Algoa. As a steering committee member and lead person from APEDA, Dr. Yadav contributed significantly to successful organization of 19th Organic World Congress held in New Delhi during November 2007. As advisor NAB at Agriculture and Processed Food Product Export Development Authority, that is APEDA, Minister of Commerce, Government of India, he has been instrumental in adding many scope categories to NPOP. Dr. Yadav had been the member of various committees, expert panels, and task force on biofertilizers, biopesticides, and organic farming, and contributed to policy development at central and state level. He had also been the member of research advisory committees of various ICR research institutes such as IIFSR, Modipuram, and IIHR Bangalore. He has authored more than 12 books and manuals on organic agriculture and visited more than 32 countries on assignments related to organic agriculture. Currently, he is associated with INM Division, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, and he is involved with policy planning process of Government of India. This is the brief introduction of our today's guest, Dr. A.K. Yadav sir. I request to Yadav sir to start the presentation on the strategies for exportable organic produce and global alternatives. Sir, please.
Thank you very much, PDKV Akola, for giving me an opportunity to again address the organic fraternity, this time from the country and from other countries. It's my, it's my dream to keep the organic farming spreading across the globe. When we started, it was a niche subject, but over the years, with the contribution of many stakeholders, scientists, policy planners, now organic farming is getting mainstreamed. But in the overall promotion, the modern organic agriculture, which originated from the export demand from the Western world in India, still continues to be driven by the market forces. And export is one of the major focus. And whatever organic farming we see today is basically still supported largely by the export of organic commodities to the various countries. In this presentation, I would like to explain what is the overall scenario of the organic products, how India stands in the international trade, and what are the opportunities available to us in the days to come. First is about the overall scenario of the organic farming. I think you may be knowing, and you might have seen this slide many times, every speaker uses. World organic is now widespread. Practically 1.5 to 2% of the total agricultural land is now under certified organic farming. And it is growing year by year. If we go by the statistics, as on end of 2018, this is a global statistics because they run almost 2 years behind. 186 countries are having the information on organic farming. And whatever data I present for the global as well as the Indian is the one for the certified organic farmers, those who are registered either under third-party certification system or under the PGS systems. So 186 countries, 71.5 million hectare area, which is 1.5% of the total agricultural land, almost about 36 million hectare wild harvest collection area, and 2.8 million producers are there. In this, largest countries are Australia, Argentina, and China, although India is not far behind. If we compare it with the figures of the 2020, India has also touched 3 million figure. As we go for the market, overall retail sales of the organic product across the globe is 95 billion. Among them, 42% share is by the USA, 39% is captured by the European Union, and at third place it is the China. Other countries do not seem to figure here. It does not mean that they do not have, but the problem is that we do not have the reliable data to ensure that what is the quantum of sales in those countries. Same is true with the India. We don't have much of the data. If we see what are the commodities, what are the items which are being traded internationally, almost about 50 to 60% is the general food items which are sold into the loose. That includes, milk, It includes the vegetables and the fruits and the grains. And the remaining 40 to 50% is the packed and beverages. Among that, packed food items accounts for about 32 to 34 billion US dollars, and packed beverages about 4 to 6 billion US dollars. I've shown you the three pie charts. USA is the largest buyer and the seller, followed by Germany, France, and China. If you see, this is the total sale. If you see the processed food sales also, then what items are being sold into the processed food? It's the dairy and dairy products are the largest commodity, followed by the bakery and confectionery, ready meals, baby foods. And what you will see, international trade, raw commodities are not traded. Basically, they act as the ingredients and the raw material for the processed foods. If you see among the beverages, juices account for almost 1/3, coffee, and then teas, which is a herbal tea, green tea, and black tea. They occupy the largest shares. Now, we come to the India. What is the status of the organic agriculture in India? As on this figure is for the March 2020. We have nearly about 42 lakh hectare area under organic farming. Out of that, 28.6 lakh hectare is the cultivated farm area, and 13.7 lakh is the wild harvest collection, where we collect the wild honey or some medicinal and herbal plants. If we see how much amount of the total certified production, we have two certification systems under NPOP and PGS. So 27 lakh tons was the production under the NPOP and 6.2 lakh tons under the PGS system. Now, this is something about the PGS also. How much is the area? Major states for the PGS certification are the Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra. And major state players in number of farmers are also the same. Hello? Just to, I'm busy in a busy. Okay, so other states also in terms of the number of farmers also the same. Now, under different certification system, what is the overall scenario? If you see under the National Program for Organic Production, which is a third-party certification, almost about 23 lakh hectare farm area is certified, and 13.7 is the wild harvest collection area. And if you see the graph on the bottom, this shows how the area is continuously increasing. Although there is a dip during 2007-8 to 2012 and 13, this dip was mainly because of the loss of organic cotton area due to introduction of the BT cotton. At that time, BT cotton was a big storm in the country. So practically majority of our projects, some in Maharashtra and majority of them were in the Madhya Pradesh, they were decertified due to BT cotton contaminations. But later on, then again, things have picked up. Now the area is growing. Majority of that cotton certified area has been shifted to soybean. Now again, cotton is coming up in a very big way. These are the major state players under the NPOP. You can see Madhya Pradesh in terms of area accounts for 50%, followed by Maharashtra, Rajasthan and Odisha. But in terms of the production, Maharashtra accounts for the largest share, followed by the Madhya Pradesh and the Rajasthan. Now let's come to what are the market potential and how the growth trends are growing and what are the export opportunities for the India organic produce. Some studies were made because reliable data for the market is very, very difficult except the export figures. But SOCHM has done certain amount of studies, and based upon the random sample survey, they have extrapolated the market which is available as on today. And this was figure we have calculated for 2019-20. Total market size was estimated at about 8,500 crore. Out of that, export share is about 4,850 crore, more than 50%. Organized domestic markets account for around 2,000 crores. Farmers market or unorganized sales account for 1,500 crores. If we see how much is the growth rate, exports are growing from last 7 years, almost about 17 to 19%. In last 5 years, it is 19%. You can see 16, 17, 25%, 17, 18, 39%, 18, 19, 49%. 19, 20, there is a dip, mainly because the last 2 months of the February and March, due to lockdown, practically all the exports were halted. So this has shown a marginal decline, but in the domestic market is growing at the CAGR of 18 to 25%. Now, this pandemic, which has caused so much of havoc, but it has also provided certain amount of opportunities, mainly to the organic sector. Now, what we see in the post-COVID area, the domestic demand, which was growing at about 28% up to 2019-20, is now expected to grow beyond 35%. And we hope it can touch a figure of 12,000 to 15,000 crore by 2025. Similarly, exports, which were growing at 19%, current size about from last 2 years is about 5,000 crore and 0.7 to 0.8 billion US dollars. Post-COVID, it's growing 25 to 35% because after the lockdown, the growth in the organic products export is almost nearly touching 65 to 70% over the previous year. Maybe some pending orders may have contributed, but still certainly this will be much higher than what we have expected. And what we are expecting is that by 2025, this 0.8 billion US dollar should cross 1.58 billion by 2025. Now, what is needed? We need certain strategies. We must have a focused and demand-driven production for that. We also need quality adherence because that is very important. If we do not have the quality and credibility, we will lose the market into the export scenario. India organic brand promotion is needed. Even our producers and the traders require international exposure about the quality, about the diversity of the product, which is then there in the market demand. To make our Indian exports competitive, it is also necessary that government should provide certain amount of export incentives and dedicated value addition infrastructure for organic products is also very much needed. Now, this is the current supply scenario I'm talking about. About 29 lakh hectare area is there. Growth is growing. We have got a lot of potential to expand into the traditional areas. Diversified agroecological zones are there. We have traditional strength in rice, tea, coffee, spices, and herbals. But we need to plan and align to the international market demand. COVID has also added to this. Now, what are the commodities which we are producing which can be exported? You can see very well sugar crops, oil seeds, cotton, cereals and millets, mainly basmati and non-basmati rice, pulses, plantation crops, spices and condiments, medicinal herbal plants. These are the few categories where our strength is there and we have got good amount of production. Out of this one, we are exporting in terms of the quantity only about 25%. So we have potential to increase our export in all these areas. And when the area is continuously growing, the availability and supply for these products will also go up. Now, this is the export scenario as on today. One very interesting trend, you can see it here. When we see the agricultural export of our country, it's mainly restricted to the neighboring countries or the Middle East. Very small quantity of the product goes to the developed world in terms of percentage. But if you see the organic one, Western world is the main buyer. USA, European Union, Canada, and among the others also it is the Australia, Israel, New Zealand, Korea, and Japan. So the amount of value realization from sending to the developed world is much, much higher than what we normally get into the Middle East. So there is a lot of potential, and still we are not able to supply. Sometimes due to the competitive reasons, sometimes due to the non-tariff trade barriers, and sometimes due to the quality issues. If we look after all these issues, I think there is a great potential for us to go ahead. Now, these are about the export, what commodities we have exported during the last year. Processed foods account for largest share. And very interesting, in processed food, what is the one single quantity which has accounted for the major share is the soybean de-oiled cake, which has been exported for the animal feed. Then other things are oil seeds, cereals and millets. Sugar is coming up. Spices, our traditional area. Spices, tea, we are continuously export, but still not growing our share. Now, where is the potential? I'd like to stress here one thing. In the world, if you see, fresh fruits and vegetables, they account for the largest share into the market. They almost about 40%. Then dairy products account for almost 20%. Meat, fish, and poultry, 15%. And you can see 40 plus 20, 60 plus 15, 75%. India is not there in this category. We are in the others category of 15% and very small share into the processed and frozen products of 10%. So practically our exports, we are competing only in this one. And here in this sector, competition is also big. China is a much bigger competitor, and other Asian countries, those who are growing the similar commodities, they are also going to pose a big competitive challenge to us. So what is needed is we need to concentrate in fresh fruits and vegetables. In dairy, although dairy products are very difficult for us to compete, but A2 milk and desi ghee, these are the two commodities where we have an advantage and we can pick it up. Then processed food and poultry products is also the area where we can go ahead. And demand is certainly there. What we also have to learn in the trade also, no, we are basically traditionally have been the commodity suppliers, whether it is a conventional product or an organic product. We have very little stake into the processed food products. So we have to move from commodity supplier to the processed food supplier, because in the world, entire trade happens into the processed commodities. And that is why whatever we export is not reflectable into the total retail sales, because our product as a product are not sellable into the market. They are used only as a raw material for processed product or as an ingredient in making the processed products. Now, there are certain challenges. If we go into that, one of the major challenge what we face and our organic industry faces is the multiple compliance requirements due to withdrawal of equivalency by EU for processed products. Here, before I explain, I'll explain one thing. In organic, every country has got its own regulation. And if we wanted to export our product to any country, our product must be compliant to the organic standards, which are our Indian standards. And those products also have to comply the requirements of the importing country. So practically, we require two certification systems. And sometimes even the buyer may also insist for fair trade certification or some other type of certification. So these multiple compliances are one of the major deterrent. We have some advantage in this one only with the European Union, where we have equivalency agreement, so we do not require the dual certification. And we have some conformity assessment agreement with the USDA, where Indian certification bodies has been authorized to certify based upon the USDA standards. So if we are exporting to these two countries, our cost is less. But if we are exporting to any other country, we need to recertify our NPOP certified product as per the requirement of those countries. So we have to, especially with the European Union also, where our exports are quite big in size, we have equivalency only for the raw crop products like grains, fiber, like that. We do not have equivalency for the processed food product. So for if we are supplying anything as a process, even with a mild, simple processing is done, then it qualifies for process certification. We need to get another certification from the agency, those who have got direct accreditation from the European. So majority of the product what we sell, they require two certifications. This increases cost, this increases compliance requirements. So we'll have to look into it and ensure that how we can reduce the burden and reduce the complications in compliances. Then there are certain countries which insist for product certification. Right now we are taking up the process certification that also add to the cost. Some countries insist for reciprocity. Of now having a reciprocity from the government to government, it's a long process. EPIDA had been trying with almost Canada, Japan, North Korea, Taiwan from many years. And we have gone through much far, but still agreements are yet to be finalized. Then low awareness on India's credibility on regular and quality supply. This is also one of the one. Our exporters, they enter into the long-term agreement with the importers of other country. But consistent supplies of the quality is always a problem. Sometimes some policy issues also becomes a barrier, some like ban on exports of certain commodities sometimes. Although now the government has removed all the barriers for the organic products, but sometimes they come up, so they also create problems. So they also give a bad name on our capability to supply on regular basis. Another problem is that our exporters, those who are there in the field, whether it is a conventional or organic, they are all concentrating on the commodities production, commodities export, because it involves much lesser risk. Process mein, it requires quality, it requires higher level of compliances, higher level of hygiene standards. So nobody is much interested in the processed commodities. One of the major reasons of these exporters not going into the commodities is that in the domestic market also, there is a very low demand for processed foods. We are living in a country where everything is cultivated and is available in the market in a fresh form around the year. So naturally, everybody, we are the basically fresh food eaters and not the processed food. So when the domestic market is poor on the process, so export also becomes poor. Then we have one very good sector where we are doing a lot of exports, and we have got very great strength in the organic textiles. I think you may be knowing very well that India is the largest producer of the organic cotton. And we are doing a lot of export for organic, but this sector is very unregulated and it's very difficult to get the data and how it is doing. Besides these international challenges, we also have certain national challenges, like inconsistent supplies, I have already said. Farmers are not getting the incentive. That is also one of the major issues. Our exporters or the trade bodies, they are charging almost about 30% to 100% premium from the consumers or from the export markets. But when it comes to the payment of the premium to the farmers, it's very low. It gives a lot of disincentive to the poor people, those who are doing extra labor. They are going extra mile to produce the certified organic. One of the major problems in production is also the technology. Seeds, compatible organic management seeds are also not available. Certification is again a problem. Every year you have to spend pretty good amount of money. Dedicated processing facilities for organic are not there. We are using the same facilities, and it requires stopping the system, cleaning, and that add to the cost. Our domestic market is unregulated. And one of the major issue is also that our organic farmers are thinly distributed across the larger areas. Now, what are the opportunities where we can capture and start working on that? We have got strong and diversified production base. We can grow anything and any time of the year in any one or the other part of the country. We have traditional heritage crops like rice, spices, condiments, tea, and herbals. Now, sugar is also there. Volume drivers are soybean, pulses, oilseeds, sugar, and sweeteners. Future products are fruit products and dry fruits. And we have got a lot of potential into the processed food products. And some other categories are also coming up fast. Groundnut, herbal and medicinal plants. Millets are also coming up. Animal feed, coconut, and livestock products. Upcoming market, what we can say beside this, because our export had been restricted to the USA and the European Union, now upcoming markets are Canada, Japan, Korea, Mexico, Israel, Middle East, and Far East countries. Fortunately, we now has a FSSAI regulation on the domestic sales and the import of the organic product. This regulation will boost the demand in the domestic market, and whenever there is a higher demand into the domestic market, it also made available the higher quantities for the export. And the FSI regulation will also help in the bilateral equivalence with other countries. Now, practically under the NPOP, we have all the conditions, all the scope categories which can be certified: livestock, honey, aquaculture, mushroom, animal feed, seaweeds. These are now textile is coming up, and the recently cosmetics and the personal care products have also been brought forward. Now, these are the areas: organic textile, organic cosmetics, medicinal herbal plant, exotic spices such as black ginger, black turmeric, galangal, pyrilla. Now, we are getting a lot of, because all these exotic spices were mainly supplied by China. Now, there is a great scope where India can also pitch in and can fill the gap in the supplies. Livestock products such as eggs, table chicken, aquaculture, we have got a lot of potential. In dairy products, mainly desi ghee, A2 milk powder and its product. And among the processed food ingredients and ready to cook and ready to eat, there is also a lot of potential for export. I have tried to show you the global opportunities, how different categories of the products are traded. Dairy products, they constitute 25%, bakery, confectionery, ready meals, baby food, meat and seafood products are there. USA, Germany, France are the major countries. Now, these are also what is the market size in terms of the US dollar millions available today for dairy, bakery, ready meals, baby food, and other. I need not to read all those things. Now, while after going through all these things, where we have discussed. Now, what is the way forward and how we can capture the opportunity which is available in the post-pandemic scenario, where there is a huge demand. All developed world demand has increased by 25% to 100%. Even the supply sources are also gradually getting diversified. A lot of markets are going to be changed from China to the other countries. So India has got a lot of opportunities. What is needed is, first thing is the production. Thin leaf production across the larger area increases the cost of logistics and make us uncompetitive. So we need concentrated production in clusters in value chain mode, so that at least some primary value addition is done at the cluster level, and the material need not to be transported into the huge volume to the processing centers. We also need national level policy and strategies for organic seeds and inputs availability. Organic seed is one of the major areas where the Akola University has also done. Major upcoming importing countries to be pursued with equivalence. India organic brand promotion is needed. Participation in new trade fairs and exhibition is also very much essential. And financial assistance. For value addition infrastructure, we are trying to do something, and incentive to the farmers which are contributing to export kitting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Very informative and good lecture, sir. Sir, topic open for discussion.
Mhm.
I request all participants to ask question regarding this seminar in chat box
raise hand
or raise hand.
Kindly let us do it very. I have got only 10 to 15 minutes only to go.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Hmm.
The participants are requested to ask the questions. They can raise hand or they can just put in chat box. If no questions are there, then we'll conclude the session. Sir, one question.
Sir, one question from
Yes.
Pankaj Nirale. Sir, he asked, sir, could you please share more information about demand for organic cotton?
Oh, I have shared something. Otherwise, you can give my email ID to them. They can ask me, I can share. Because the demand keeps on coming.
Sir,
Yes, please.
another question from Sudhakar K. Metil. What are the major problems to organic products in India to export other countries?
One of the major crop is this availability. Availability of the quality product with the uniform quality and the certification from a minimum logistics cost, one of the area, because farmers are there but they are thinly distributed over the large area, so sometimes even the availability is there, the collecting the material from many number of farmer becomes problem and it increases the cost and make us uncompetitive. So what is needed is we should have a concentrated clusters where large number of farmers undertake similar type of crops, and then we are able to produce the uniform quality with common certification and in the volumes. That is the most essential which is required.
Sir, another question from Pratiksha Yan Kapgate. She asked, how can we put organic farming at a local level?
Local level, one thing is there. If the farmers make a cluster and they start doing the marketing by themselves, then only the organic farming will succeed and farmer will really be benefited. I have got an experience that if farmers are doing only the production and selling to the middleman, normally middleman may get what type of premium he charges very well, but farmers are not getting. And that is a disincentive to the grower. I think the best thing will be the farmer should make a group. If big or medium farmers are there, even if a 50 farmer group is capable of producing a good volume, and then they start value adding at by their end, packing by their end, and then selling into the local market. For organic, market is available everywhere. You need not to go away from the big cities. It is available. The only thing is that you will require about a year's time to convince the people about the quality and your capability to supply it on consistent basis.
From Krishna Kumar Yam, he asked, how is Indian government helping to ease certification for export?
Basically we are not giving incentive mainly for the export. We are giving incentive for the export. Sorry, for organic certification. Now we have got 2-3 schemes which are operated through the state government. Under that we are providing certain incentives. But from next year, Government of India is going to launch a certification scheme where individual farmer can also avail the assistance for certification under third party or PGS. So that scheme will be launched from the next year. I think at that time the demand for the farmers for getting direct assistance for certification will be made available.
So, Dr. Praveen Kumar Singh, you want to ask a question? Please, Praveen Kumar Singh, sir, please ask your question. He raised his hand.
Yogesh. Praveen Kumar Singh.
Dr. Praveen Kumar Singh.
Okay.
Then next, Yogesh Yogesh Chagdale. He also want to ask question. Ask Yogesh.
Better ask them to write it into the chat box. That will be much easier because otherwise it will waste a lot of time. Yes, Dr. Praveen, बोलिए.
Sir, most of the farmers are facing the problem of registration of organic produce. What way should be adopted to getting the registrations easily from the state department as well as the central government?
First thing is, what do you mean by registration? You know, there are two issues in the registration. One, you are registering for certification. So that is any third, if you are going for third party certification, you can register. There are 30 certification bodies with them. I don't think there is any problem. Only thing, it involves certain cost. If you are going for PGS, there are many government agencies and state government offices are there, those who are supporting. You can contact them and they can help you. Another is for the domestic market, you need to register with FSSAI. If you are doing the trading into the domestic market for organic, you need to first get certified and then you'll have to get the registration or the licensing from FSSAI. I think both are not so difficult. Online systems are available and you can go ahead. Or otherwise, some agencies are there who facilitate such type of licensing from FSCI. You can take the help. But for certification, I don't think there is a problem. You can straightway go to any certification body. They can provide you all the help and they can help you in getting the certification. Although it is time consuming and a little bit costly affair. Okay.
Sudhakar Methi. Want to ask questions, sir? Sudhakar Methi.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes,
yes, please. Go ahead.
Sir, another one question I would like to ask you. That farmer are presently working on this issue topic, organic farming. But I think government have some lackadaisical approach towards organic farming. They are not reaching at the grassroots level. So what is the major problem behind this, sir?
Basically what happens, central government draws the schemes and the programs.
Yes, but knowledge of all these schemes are unawareness of these schemes to the farmer. That is the main problem, sir.
All these schemes are implemented through the state government and the state agriculture department is the main nodal agency.
So but they are not reaching at the grassroots level.
They are not reaching. Okay. Actually, we are trying to develop certain modalities how we can disseminate the message to the farmers. And we have taken, Government of India has already drawn a very ambitious target of adding another 25 lakh hectare of the area under organic during the next 5 years time. And we have a lot of incentives. I think next year we are planning some other routes. We hope you will be able to get assistance through that route.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Sir, okay. Question from Bintu Gojandar. He asked, can organic farming is equally yielding as commercial farming? Can we practice it locally without any issue?
नहीं, देखिए ऐसा है इसमें. Can I speak in Hindi?
English.
नहीं, ऐसा है. देखिए, आपका सवाल है कि क्या ऑर्गेनिक में भी उतनी ही उत्पादन लिया जा सकता है? बिल्कुल सही है, आप उतना ही उत्पादन ले सकते हैं, बट उसके लिए आपको जो है प्लान करना पड़ेगा. ऑर्गेनिक मोनोक्रॉपिंग नहीं है, डाइवर्सिफाइड क्रॉपिंग सिस्टम है एंड यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर. अगर आप 2 साल का प्लान बना के ग्रेजुअल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन करते हैं तो आपका यील्ड लॉस, प्रोडक्टिविटी लॉस नहीं होता. पर अगर आप ओवरनाइट चेंज करके केमिकल फार्मिंग से ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग में आते हैं तो आपको थोड़ा सा कुछ इशू है जो पहले 2 साल 3 साल में आपको थोड़ा सा जो यील्ड लॉस होता है वो होगा. बट अगर आपकी मार्केटिंग लिंकेज अच्छी है तो आप उसको जो इकोनॉमिकली कंपनसेट कर सकते हैं.
Sir, last question from Puneet. Sustainability is a buzz. Now MNCs are moving towards farm to shelf. Do you think long time for issuance of TC for organic product is an issue?
Sorry, repeat it. I couldn't understand.
Sustainability is a buzz. Now MNCs are moving towards farm to shelf. Do you think long time for issuance of TC for organic products is an issue?
Long time?
Terms and conditions.
Terms and condition for organic products.
Right now, तो अगर आप बात करें, organic is not a very big sector in our country. It's about 2% of the total agriculture. There are no specific policies or the permissions issue which require for organic. It's like any other agriculture, it is being treated like that. It's only additional cost of certification which is there. And I hope once the big big companies will come, they themselves will not be producing. Ultimately, production will be done by the farmers. And you can have the advantage only if you are producing collectively in a group, so that you can have a bargaining power. Individual farmers in the corporate farming loses normally. So you have to be very careful. And having a edge onto the market is a very much needed by the farmers. देखिए, दुनिया में अगर आप कोई चीज बनाते हैं तो आपको बेचना भी आना चाहिए. अगर आपको बेचना नहीं आता तो आपको ज्यादा फायदा कभी नहीं मिलेगा. तो किसानों के लिए जरूरत है कि वो खाली प्रोडक्शन से हटें और मार्केटिंग में भी आए. अकेले के लिए करना मुश्किल होगा, बट ग्रुप बना के करेंगे तो पॉसिबल है. ठीक है. सो कौंडे साहब, मुझे इजाजत दें. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, sir.
So nice to talk to you.
Sir, myself, Dr. A.B. Age, member of organizing committee of this training. On the behalf of organizing committee, I take an opportunity to offer my sincere and heartfelt thanks towards the today's eminent speaker of this afternoon session, Dr. A.K. Yadav sir, Senior Advisor, APEDA, New Delhi, India, for delivering interactive and informative lecture on strategies for exportable organic produce and global opportunities. I take opportunity to express my sincere thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. V.M. Bhale sir. Similarly, I express thanks to Dean Dr. M.B. Nagdev sir. Similarly, I thanks Director of Research, Dr. V.K. Kharche sir, and Dr. B.M. Mankar sir, Director of Extension Education. I would like to offer the heartfelt thanks towards our participants, delegates, for participation from various countries in this training program and in this session, and responded and asked questions in this session. Thank you for your participation. Similarly, I take an opportunity to express thanks to our course director and chief scientist of code, Dr. Ian Koslawar sir, and team member of organizing training program. Similarly, I am very much thankful to Dr. P.P. Bhopade sir, coordinator of this session, and rapporteur Dr. J.V. Thakre sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable time and sparing your very valuable remark. And we'll just definitely pass on your email address to concern who are actually having keen questions. So accordingly, they can just contact you accordingly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, dear participants, we have covered 3 lectures today. That is the schedule of 14 December. So tomorrow again we have 3 lectures. That is first at 11 to 11:30. Dr. Charu Jain from Laudes Foundation, Switzerland. She will be talking on extension linkages for promotion of organic agriculture. Then the another speaker is extremely eminent scientist, Dr. Chandish Ballad, who is a former director, ICR, National Institute of Agriculture, Insect and Insect Resources from Bangalore. She will be talking on scope of biological control in organic agriculture, and the practical will be conducted on production and use of bioagents for pest management. So all are requested to again join. The links will be sent to your WhatsApp group, and you need to join the session at 10:45. So accordingly, we'll start the session at sharply at 11, and we need to cover again. And lastly, tomorrow evening we will be having another lecture on seeding the green future, step towards green agriculture. Dr. Amrit Bir Riyar or Dr. Eva, both will be presenting their lecture during 16 hours. So accordingly, this is the schedule for tomorrow. The template will be shared with you on your WhatsApp group. So accordingly, you need to join the same.